Hare Krishna. Let's make a start with Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jayo Gira Vardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jayo Gira Vardhari Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Bol. Om Gyantimirnasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Samrupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Samsajim Sadvetam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Dalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavan Eshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranvami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhescha Kirpa Sindhubevacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Te Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Parcharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti Go Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Mukham Kroti Vachanam Pangum Nangyate Grim Yat Kirpatam Ondashi Gurundin Dharanam Paramananda Madhavam Shitataneshwaram Naram Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttamam Devim Sasvit Vyasam Tato Madhuriyat Nasta Preshabdresya Nityam Bhagavata-Sevayā Bhakti Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nestiki Hari Om Tassat. Okay, so we are in chapter 7. Today we hope to cover verses 11 to 16. Last time we were talking about the glories of Shiva Bhagavatam, and we also discussed the Atmaram verse and how Acharya he gave 9 explanations of this verse, whereas Mahaprabhu gave 61, and I left him stunned. Yes, that this is not a normal average human being. This is can only be the Lord himself, and sometimes Lord has to do something extraordinary to convince people, and even people like Duryodhan, when they see something extraordinary, they still don't believe it. That's just bad luck, that is misfortune, that you still doubt even after seeing the glories of the Lord. And Atmaram's verse, we said, he was connected with devotional service. That's the thing with the Atmaram verse. It's about devotional service to the Lord. So 11, Hare Gunakshpita Matir Bhagwan Bhadrayanihi Adyagan Mahad Akhyanam Nityam Vishnujan Priya. So Hare of Hari, the personality Godhead, Guna, transcendental attributes, Akshipit, being absorbed in, Mathi, mind, Bhagwan, powerful, Padrayanhi, the son of Vyastev, Adyagat, underwent studies, Mahat, great, Akhyanam, narration, Nityam, regularly, Vishnujan, devotee of the Lord, Priya, beloved. So Srila Sukadeva Goswami, son of Srila Vyasadeva, was not only transcendently powerful, he was also very dear to the devotees of the Lord. Thus he underwent the study of this great narration, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So according to Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Srila Sukadeva Goswami was a liberated soul even within the womb of his mother. Srila Vyasadeva knew that the child after his birth would not stay at home. Therefore, Vyasadeva, impressed upon him the synopsis of the Bhagavatam so that the child could be made attached to transcendental activities of the Lord. After his birth, the child was still more educated in the subject of Bhagavatam by recitation of the actual poems. So, as you know, Sukadeva Goswami, he was very much attracted to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from day one. The idea is that generally the liberated souls are attached to the feature of impersonal Brahman with the monistic view of becoming one with the Supreme Whole. But by the association of pure devotees like Vyasadeva, even the liberated soul becomes attracted to the transcendental qualities of the Lord. By the mercy of Sri Narad, Srila Vyasadeva was able to narrate the great epic of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and by the mercy of Vyasadeva, Srila Sukadeva Goswami was able to grasp the input. The transcendental qualities of the Lord are so attractive that Srila Sukadeva Goswami became detached from being completely absorbed in impersonal Brahman and positively took up the personal activity of the Lord. Yes, so last time we were saying that Sukadeva Goswami, he was self-realized. So why did he need to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Why did he have to go through all this study? And it's explained here once more that he was more about liberation and impersonal Brahman, and there's no devotion service involved. And now that he heard Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, he wants to serve the Lord by personal activity. And so thus he recited to Maharaj Parikshit, and he got liberation by Kirtanam, and Maharaj Parikshit by Shravanam. Practically, he was thrown from the impersonal conception of the Absolute, thinking within himself that he had simply wasted so much time in devoting himself to the impersonal feature of the Supreme, or in other words, he realized more transcendental bliss with the personal feature than the impersonal. And from that time, not only did he himself become very dear to the Vishnujans or the devotees of the Lord, but also the Vishnujans became very dear to him. The devotees of the Lord who do not wish to kill the individuality of the living entities and who desire to become personal servitors of the Lord do not very much like the impersonalists. And similarly, the impersonalists who desire to become one with the Supreme are unable to evaluate the devotees of the Lord. Thus, from time immemorial, these two transcendental pilgrims have sometimes been competitors. In other words, each of them likes to keep separate from the other because of the ultimate personal and impersonal realization. Therefore, it appears that Srila Sukadeva Goswami also had no liking for the devotees at the time, but since he himself became a saturated devotee, he desired always the transcendental association of Vishnujans, and Vishnujans also liked his association, since he became a personal Bhagavata. Thus, both the son and the father were completely cognizant of transcendental knowledge in Brahman. And afterwards, both of them became absorbed in the personal features of the Supreme Lord. The question as to how Sukadeva Goswami was attracted by the narration of the Bhagavatam is thus completely answered by this shloka. So this is 11. So it's mentioned here that this verse is about Shri Krishna's affection for his devotees, verse about how Shri Krishna. So let's leave that. So Narad to Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva to Sukadeva Goswami, and from Sukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are becoming attracted. This is disciplic succession. Yeah, let's talk about this. So through Narad Muni, Vyasadeva became attracted to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and from Vyasadeva, Sukadeva Goswami became attracted to, and Maharaj Parikshit became attracted through Sukadeva Goswami, and by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are becoming attracted to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is the disciplic succession, as mentioned. So Sukadeva Goswami realized that he wasted time focusing on the impersonal Brahman, and just like we start liking the devotees because our goal is the same, he started like the Vishnujans. Krishna is teaching us through his devotees, just like the mother advises the daughter when the advice is meant for the daughter-in-law, but she cannot tell her directly. So through Bhagavatam and its devotees, Krishna is also guiding us that this is the method, this is the way, and this is the goal, by giving us examples in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So that's very nice. Next one. Prakshito tha rajvrishya janma karamilapanam samstham cha pandu putranam vakshe Krishna kathodayam. So Parikshitha of King Parikshit, thus Raj Rishi of the king, who was the Rishi among the kings, Janma birth, Karma activities, Vilapanam deliverance, Samstham renunciation of the world, Cha and Pandu Putranam of the sons of Pandu, Vakshe I shall speak, Krishna Katha Udyam, that which give rise to the transcendental narration of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Sutta Goswami thus addressed the rishis headed by Shaunak. Now I shall begin the transcendental narration of the Lord Sri Krishna and topics of the birth, activities and deliverance of King Parikshit, the sage amongst kings, as well as topics of the renunciation of the worldly order by the sons of Pandu. So this seems like the gateway now to the topics of birth, activities, deliverance of King Parikshit. So we are moving forward, we are advancing. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that Lord Krishna is so kind to the fallen souls that he personally incarnates himself amongst the different kinds of living entities and takes part with them in daily activities. Any historical fact, old or new, which has a connection with the activities of the Lord is to be understood as a transcendental narration of the Lord. Without Krishna, all the supplementary literatures like the Puranas, and Mahabharata are simply stories or historical facts. Yeah, so what is the difference between literatures and stories, or say Shakespeare, or other Jane Austen novels? What is the difference? They're all very attractive. It's very attractive literature, it's about Jane Austen. It's all about her life experiences. She puts everything, her pastimes. She puts in there and makes characters out of it. So what is different? Difference is none of them have Krishna in them. Without Krishna, they're just mundane literature. But with Krishna, they become transcendental. And when we hear of them, we at once become transcendentally related with the Lord. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is also a Purana. But the special significance of this Puran is that the activities of the Lord are central and not just supplementary historical facts. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is thus recommended by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the spotless Puran. There is a class of less intelligent devotees of the Bhagavata Puran who desire to relish at once the activities of the Lord narrated in the 10th canto without first understanding the primary cantos. They are under the false impression that the other cantos are not concerned with Krishna, and thus more foolishly than intelligently they take to the reading of the 10th canto. Whereas we've seen even in the first canto how Krishna's hand is everywhere. He sees divine intervention that everything takes place, and how Maharaj Parikshit was able to hear how is arranged for him to die in 7 days. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam could manifest and could be heard for our benefit. And how Sutta Goswami goes to the sages of Naimisharanya, and he tells them that you're wasting your time with the yagyas, because yagyas no longer have that potency in this yuga. Now in this yuga, you glorify the Lord, you listen to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and that is the way to become potent or to help society. So no one should try to go into the matters of the 10th canto without having thoroughly understood the purport of the other 9 cantos. Krishna and his pure devotees, like the Pandavas, are on the same plane. Krishna is not without his devotees of all the rasas, and the pure devotees, like the Pandavas, are not without Krishna. So Krishna comes with all his paraphernalia and his associates. The devotees and the Lord are interlinked, and they cannot be separated. So Krishna he never alone. He never comes alone. Even if he has his flute with him, that's also live. Right? He'll have these cows with him. He'll have Radha and Krishna will be together. His associates will be with him. So Krishna is never alone, because he is not alone. He has his paraphernalia with him. Therefore, talks about them are all Krishna Katha, all topics of the Lord. So everything connected with him is Krishna Katha. Okay. So it says that Bhagat and Bhagwan are not separate. Glories of Srila Prabhupada will be connected to Krishna. So we glorifying Srila Prabhupada, or he has written something, it's always connected with Krishna. Okay. 13 and 14. Yada mride kaurav srinjanam. Yada mride kaurav srinjayanam. Vir eshav atho viragatim kateshu. Rokudra vida kada bhim arsha. Pagnuro dande ditrashtra putre. Vrathu priyam dharanur iti sma pashyan Krishna sotna sopatam shirimasi uparad vipriyam evatasya jugu sitam karma vigrayanti. So yada, when Mridhe in the battlefield, Kaurav, the party of Dhritarashtra, Srinjayanam of the party of the Pandavas, Vireshu of the warriors, Athotas, Vir Gatim, the destination deserved by the warriors, Gateshu being obtained, Virukodra, Bhima, the second Pandav, Avida, beaten, Gada by the club, Abhimash, lamenting, Bhagna, broken, Uru, Dande, spinal cord, Dhritarashtra Putri, the son of King Dhritarashtra, Bhartuhu, of the master, Priyam, pleasing, Drenuhi, the son of Dronacharya, or Dronahi, the son of Dronacharya, iti thus, Sama shall be Pashyan, seeing, Krishna Draupadi Sutanam, of the sons, Sopatam, while sleeping, Shiramsi, heads, Upaharat, delivered as prize, Vipriyam, unpleasing, Eva like, Tasya his, Jugu Pasitam, most heinous karma act, Vigrayanti, disproving. And we know where this is going. So when the respective bodies of both camps, namely the Kauravas and the Pandavas, were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the dead warriors obtained their deserved destinations, and when the son of Dhritarashtra fell down lamenting, his spine broken, being beaten by the club of Bhimsen, the son of Dronacharya, Ashwathama, beheaded the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered the heads as a prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he would be pleased. Duryodhana, however, disapproved of the heinous act, and he was not pleased in the least. So transcendental topics of the activities of Lord Sri Krishna and the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam begin from the end of the battle at Kurukshetra. So the battle has finished. I guess Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is taking over from where maybe Mahabharata, the battle, as it's mentioned here, at Kurukshetra finishes, then Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam takes over from there. Therefore, both the Bhagavad-Gita and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam are transcendental topics of Lord Sri Krishna. The Gita is Krishna Katha, or topics of Krishna, because it is spoken by the Lord. And the Bhagavatam is also Krishna Katha, because it is spoken about the Lord. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone to be informed of both Krishna Kathas by his order. Lord Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna himself in the garb of a devotee of Krishna, and therefore the versions of both Lord Krishna and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are identical. Lord Chaitanya desired that all who are born in India seriously understand such Krishna Kathas, and then after full realization preach the transcendental message to everyone in all parts of the world that will bring about the desired peace and prosperity of the stricken world. So that's 13-14. So it's mentioned that when Ashwathama killed the 5 sons of Pandavas, so that the Pandavas would be so distressed that they'll be totally destroyed. You know, they say it's easy to kill for a person who's a warrior or a killer. It's easier to kill a person, but sometimes killing a person is not enough. You want to break them, right? So Ashwathama wanted to break their heart. You know, he doesn't want to kill their heart. He wants to break their heart by killing the sons. This is what he was trying to achieve, and also to please his friend Duryodhana. He thought, "I'll do this act," and he said, "Wow, what clever initiative you've taken." Duryodhana didn't approve of this act, because even the 5 sons of Pandavas were the bloodline and continuation of the Kaurav dynasty. This kind of act is also condemned for a warrior today. Enemy should be challenged face to face, not killing sleeping children. So that was like a very petty petty crime. It's not Duryodhana, whoever he was, a politician and he was a warrior. He didn't condone petty crimes like this. So, yeah, he was not too pleased. And talking about, yeah, so we'll go on to the next one, and then we can discuss. So, Mata Shishunam Nidanam Sutanam Nishamya Goram Pritapayamana Tadarudad Vashap Kalakulakshi Tam Santavayan Aha Krititamali. Or Skiritamali. Mata, the mother, Shushunam of the children, Nidanam, massacre, Sutanam of the sons, Nishamya after hearing, Goram ghastly, Prati Payamana lamenting, Prita Payamana lamenting, Tada at that time, Arudat began to cry, Vashapkal Akula Akshi, with tears in the eyes, Tam her, Santavayan pacifying, Aha said, Krita Mali, Arjun. So Draupadi, the mother of the 5 children of the Pandavas, after hearing of the massacre of her sons, began to cry in distress with eyes full of tears, trying to pacify her in her great loss. Arjun spoke to her as thus. So now Draupadi is found out. So just there's a mention here of different types of aggressors, and these people should be killed. So there's 6 types of aggressors that we have discussed in Bhagavad-Gita. 6 types of aggressors. These people are best punished, otherwise they will suffer the karma of the acts in their next life. So by punishing them, you're actually helping them. So by punishing them, they rid of this karma. So there was no question of accruing sin by killing this Brahmana's son. Aggressor can be killed without you getting any sinful reaction. So the 6 kind of aggressors: a poison giver, one who sets fire into the house, one who attacks with deadly weapons, one who plunders riches, one who occupies another's land, and one who kidnaps a wife. So all these aggressions took place in Mahabharata, or in this, with the Pandavas. Because Bhima was poisoned, Lakshagraha, that's who sets fire to the house, one who attacks with deadly weapon, Pandavas were attacked, one who plunders riches, cheated in gambling, one who occupies another's land, land was taken away from them, one who kidnaps a wife, Draupadi was, or they attempted to disrobe her. So the Pandavas suffered all these 6 aggressions. Sorry, what's happened here?
Share again from there.
Yeah, just stop sharing.
Yes.
Seem to have lost.
This is happening since 3 days, Prabhuji. On the Veda-based website,
Yeah.
it's not behaving correctly since 3 days. So if you refresh the page again, you will get the page again.
Yeah, I'm just going to try that again. Okay, refresh it. I'll try refreshing it.
Shall I give the phone?
Okay, we're back. We're on the last verse now. 16. Am I on the right one? Sorry, I'm on the wrong chapter 7. We want.
Maybe they're refreshing their database website.
Okay, let's try sharing this. Okay, I think we're there. Tata shuchaste paramajami badre yad brahma bandho shira atatayinha gandiva mukte vishikher upahare tvakarmya yad san yasi dagda putra. So tada, at that time only, Shucha is in grief, Teyo Paramajami shall wipe away, Badre, O gentle lady, yet when Brahmabandho of a degraded Brahman, Shira head, Atatayina of the aggressor, Gandiva Mukti shot by the bow named Gandiva, Vishikahi by the arrows, Upahare shall present to you, Tva yourself, Akramya riding on it, yet which sons you see, take your bath, Dagda Putra after burning the sons. So, O gentle lady, when I present you with the head of that Brahman, after beheading him with arrows from my Gandhi bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then after burning your sons' bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head. So, yeah, we're just talking about the aggressors, an enemy who sets fire to the house, administers poison, attacks all of a sudden with deadly weapons, plunders wealth, or usurps agricultural fields, or entices one's wife is called an aggressor. Such an aggressor, though he be a Brahman or so-called son of Brahman, has to be punished in all circumstances. When Arjun promised to behead the aggressor named Ashwatthama, he knew well that Ashwatthama was the son of Brahman, and he was also the son of his guru, that he respected and loved so much, and he would not want to harm son of his guru. But this is like ultimate aggression. But because the so-called Brahman acted like a butcher, he was taken as such, and there was no question of sin in killing such a Brahman son who proved to be a villain. So this is now we're discussing Ashwatthama, and we'll talk about this and the reaction of the other personalities, and the reaction of Krishna, the reaction of Draupadi, how these exalted personalities, behave and respond in a way that a normal person would not behave. This is what makes them such great personalities, and we'll discuss that as we go on. And so, yeah, this is now, like is mentioned earlier, that now we are discussing more directly about Krishna. Before we talk about Krishna, now he, in a subtle form, how his divine intervention comes about in creating Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, how his divine comes about in helping the people of Kali Yuga. When Krishna leaves, where did religion go? He's in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So Krishna, even though he might not be visible in a material form as he was 5,000 years ago, but like a father, he might be away in a different country or a different place. He's still thinking about his children. Ringing home, checking, sending money, whatever. Like in our lives. So there's so much we can compare. Krishna is the ultimate father. We just had Father's Day a couple of days ago. He's the ultimate father, even though he is by his gross body, he was not visible, but he's still thinking about his children, and he's creating things. And now, now we are talking about his direct glories, how he supported the Pandavas, through the distress, all through while they were here doing the pastimes in this material planet Earth. So thank you so much. I'd like to hear from yourselves as well. And thank you, Pundrikaksha Prabhu, for pointing that out, and it's worked out nicely. And we managed to get the last verse in, and I'd love to hear from you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. I was just thinking, there are many kinds of people. One category who do not believe in the existence of God itself, but another category who believe in existence of God, but in not a personal form, impersonal form. So these people are at least better than the previous people who do not believe in existence. And where I was reading other purport from other canto, where Prabhupada mentioned that there are people who believe that we are created by chance, and once everything is done, we'll just become zero. We don't exist anymore. So we are fortunate that we come into the association of the Lord. And in the purport, Prabhupada mentioned that Lord Krishna takes the human form just to give this knowledge to us and help us to get back to Him by performing these pastimes.
Mm-hmm.
And we have got so many scriptures like Puranas, Mahabharata, but when you read them without considering Krishna, then they look like a myth only. But when you put Krishna, then it becomes transcendental, and then we can understand the Bhagavatam and Krishna as well. So it's been stressed many a times that we should not jump to Canto 10. I mean, certainly there are so many people who know the pastimes of Krishna through they might be watching Little Krishna episode or any other things, or directly watching Mahabharata serial of B.R. Chopra. So those people do not have a real understanding of the purpose of the scriptures itself. And when we actually read Canto 1, Canto 2, Canto 3, where you understand the Lord opulences, Lord energies, like we discuss about so many energies of the Lord, and how we are actually coming into existence, and how these energies maintain us as well as control us. So when we have this understanding and understanding of Krishna, then when we read Canto 10, we can relish more, and we can really get connected to Krishna in that case. And I was listening to one of the class of Shubhlas Prabhu on this Ashwadhama. I mean, Ashwadhama, when he was dissatisfied and Duryodhana also fell down and died, um, he saw a owl and killing the small birds in the night time. And watching that, actually, he got the idea of killing the sons of Draupadi in the night time. And he suggested this to two people, Krupacharya and Kritavarma. And Krupacharya actually denied that. He said, "What is this idea? Don't like this idea at all. You should, like a Brahmana means you should be, at least legally, you should follow the rules and regulations. You should not be doing this kind of act." And he left that place. But Kritavarma, even though he is lead of Narayan Sena, but he was having little bit of thing in the heart that he want to become a lead. That's why he did not say that it is not a good act, but he did not argue also, but he did not deny that idea also. So Shubhlas Prabhu was saying that if you're true devotee, you should walk away from that place. You should not encourage anybody when they're doing any wrong act or talking some nonsense about the other devotees as well. We should leave that place. So the Ashwadhama was the good person, but he got distracted by looking at that heinous act of the bird. So what we see is really very important. That's why we should avoid seeing unwanted things on TV or mobile or anywhere, so that we can stay in devotion. That's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhavesh. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we should endeavor not to see, deliberately see, but sometimes, the things will come in front to you, right? Things happen, or something happens on the news, or, by chance you think, oh, I haven't seen the news for a while, I'll watch them, and then you'll see something, and then that will sort of play on your mind, or, some nonsense comes. So, yeah, at least our endeavor should be not to associate with something that gives us weird ideas, but sometimes they come by themselves as well. This is material life. We don't go out looking for trouble. Trouble comes to us and says, "Hi, I'm here." And but then we have to be strong in our spirituality to counteract that as well. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Kim Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everybody. There's so much in these verses. I'll just carry on from where Pundakash Prabhu left off. I think for me, Draupadi's reaction and her behavior is the epitome of Krishna Katha. It gives us the highest moral values and moral ethics and how to live in society. She was forgiving. It was the most heinous thing that can happen to anybody, the loss of your children. But just shows the depth of her benevolence. It also tells me there is a time and a place for hostility and violence. The Bhagavatam and the Gita clearly tells us that it is justified and legal in the Vedic sense to administer justice. And that is when somebody has plundered your kingdom, when somebody has poisoned your waters, or when somebody occupies your land illegally, or when somebody kidnaps your wife as Ravan did, or when somebody sets fire to your house or your kingdom. And so for me, this absolutely fundamentally confirms that when somebody has used deadly weapons or used poison or has kidnapped one of your family members, has occupied your land, or has set fire to your property, it's okay. It is okay, to go and seek revenge and retribution. But then time, space, and circumstances determines our action. Kunti and Draupadi were such phenomenal characters in our human existence, women who carry the highest burdens, and they responded with magnanimous dignity, morality, and ethics, to the extent they were very forgiving, the highest of the greatest of moral characteristics. The Bhagavatam is not just a set of verses, it is the guidebook for the best behavior of humanity. And there's so much to learn from this. The hearing of the Krishna Katha, the Mahamantra chanting, and the Sankirtan movement, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given all this to us, should be central to our lives. And if we embed that into the center of our lives, transcendental bliss is possible within the realms of our existence in this material world today. We can be liberated souls on a sunny day like today at any time. We are so blessed to have this knowledge. We just have to hear it. We just have to chant it. We just have to remember Krishna. We have to put Krishna in the center. And we have to remember these great characters that came in these kathas. And they should be an inspiration for all of us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. And I was just thinking, like Gandhari, she cursed Krishna and she's accusing him of the fact that, at the least that he could have stopped all this, and like her 100 sons are killed and he didn't do anything to save them, etc., etc. Whereas Draupadi, she's accepted her fate. She accepted this has happened. My sons are killed. She's not pointing fingers at anyone. She could say, "Oh Krishna, what kind of brother are you? you didn't save my children. You probably you would have known this is going to happen already, and but she done nothing of the sort. They never, the Pandavas and their wives, they never accused Krishna. Then Krishna would stop coming to them and said, "Look, this is nonsense. Everything something happens, I get the blame, although I've got nothing to do. Well, indirectly, I have nothing to do with this. It's a pastime, and also, for us, it's our karma. Why blame Krishna for everything?" So he was, they never pointed finger at Krishna, and they accepted their fate, what they were going to get. And Krishna, he helped them, and he got a lot more respect for them. He watching their reaction, how will they react, and then he just admiring the reactions, the responses. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I think some very nice points have already been covered by the Prabhus. So I think for me, I'd noted down how Krishna is central to the Bhagavatam in the verses, the earlier verses, and without him, we're simply reading historical stories or facts, essentially. I know he appears in the 10th canto, but information about Krishna is still weaved right throughout all the chapters, essentially, in all the cantos, and information about his devotees, his glories, their glories, and then that appears throughout. And I think I was just kind of thinking about how Bhagavatam is a form of Krishna in a book form. I've been told that so many times, and I understand that it's even its mere presence in your home is very purifying, let alone reading it and studying it. So essentially, it deserves the same level of respect as the Lord. Really, it's just a form of the Lord, essentially. So that was something that I've always remind myself of and think about quite a bit. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. And as we were saying last time, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is like a travelator. Just by hearing it, you're making progress. Just by standing on the travelator, you move forward. So just by hearing, you travel forward in your bhakti. And if you're standing on a travelator, you're moving forward. What if you start moving with the travelator, which most of us tend to, because we're impatient and start moving, and just we should have that impatience with Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We don't want to just stand still and just hear. We want to do something, follow what Bhagavatam is saying. And then you are moving faster than the travelator itself. Thank you. Praveen Mataji, hearing only today, listening only. And Radharani, you want to say something?
Yes. Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, the title of this chapter, the title itself is like bringing ill fame to the father, Ashwatthama's father, Dronacharya. So, similarly, if the disciples are not following the instructions of the spiritual masters, they are also bringing, ill fame to their spiritual master. So, everything in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is teaching us something. Let it be the title or the verses or the purports or the translations, even the word-to-word meaning, we find so many hidden meanings when we are going through them. And yes, not blaming anyone brings advancement to the devotees. That is a very, very key point, and it is very hard to imbibe in real life. When somebody gets attacked verbally by actions or by some silly designs of somebody's bad thinking or bad consciousness at any time, we see it's so easy for us, the jivas of Kali Yuga, to react. Forget the response, the reaction comes quicker. in the response, because sometimes that aggression seems too big. But when you think of what Draupadi went through in her life, what Kunti went, that is amazing. That's why we say they were the people of a different yuga. They were the jivas of a different yuga. They were not even jivas, I would say, because they were associating with the Lord in his leela. They're eternal associates, that they're more empowered. But for Lord to bring such leelas about, to bring such stories unfold in front of us, this really seemed mythical. Because I remember when we were growing up, or when we were hearing this, or when we were watching the the television versions of these epics, it really seemed somewhere that this is not real. This is not how people react, people live day to day. This is not how people respond to in their life. But Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, as we've been discussing verse by verse, and I've been going through for some years now, it seems that Krishna made all these dramas, I would say, historical dramas, mythical dramas happen for all of us, that yes, it is possible to just go through all this and venture into the next chapter of your spiritual life. Because success comes to those who are going to navigate through all the problems, all the hindrances, be it natural, be it your own mind playing with you, be it other people. So big lessons in these verses for everyone, that we have to at least try to respond, or just have to curb our tongue, curb our reactions, curb our facial expressions, or perhaps move away from that situation if it is becoming hard to, what should you say, hard to tolerate, and how to understand that what's happening. So it's best to leave that place, because if you stay there, the reactions will come. Because I think we have been through all these things, life after life. God knows in which species we suffered what problems. Because the animals, they also behave similar. I've seen a program on some monkeys in some channel many years back, Discovery Channel, how the monkeys' behavior is so much like humans. They have all these aggressions in their community as well, in their species as well. So another lesson we see here is that son of Drona, he wasn't behaving like a son of a Brahmana, was he? He was given all the education and everything by his dad, by his father, Dronacharya. He was taught everything, but he behaved like a degraded son of Brahmana. So another thing is, because Kali was going to come, and how Kali doesn't come suddenly. Kali has got its tentacles in the last periods of the yuga preceding that. So it was showing its colors. So this was like a very red flag for red flag for that yuga's people and for us, that how the coming yuga is going to be so challenging for the jivas in it. So Krishna was making sure that everything was there for the jivas to hear from, to learn from, and to apply in their lives. And lastly, but the most important lesson we have to have is that Draupadi, she never lost her faith in Krishna, no matter what she went to. When she was going to be humiliated, insulted by her own, who were supposed to protect her in the assembly, she didn't lost faith in Krishna. Krishna helped her. And I think that help, what Krishna helped her in the assembly, made her even more stronger as a person. She appeared from the fire, so she was not a normal person. She was empowered entity in herself. And when she got this trouble, when they thought they had curbed the Kauravas and finally they could just breathe in their lives for once, and then this calamity happened. So one person's stupid thinking, and he was, like Pundrikaksh Prabhu says, that he was told by Kripacharya not to do that. He didn't hear. So Kripacharya is also a guru. So they say na vinashkale viparit buddhi. When the bad times are there on you, no matter who is going to advise you or what you're going to hear from or learn from, you will not listen to or pay heed to that. So this happened to him. So another lesson, two lessons here. One from Ashwatthama, that listen to the elders, listen to the more knowledgeable ones. Even if you've decided to execute a plan, it's always a nice thing to have the final elicit opinions of the seniors. And Draupadi, she gives us the most important lesson of our lives, that never ever lose faith in Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And thank you all. And we'll catch up again this Friday. I look forward to hearing more from you and your association. So, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Prem Nande, Hari Hari
Samved
Bol.
Bhaktivedanta ki jai. Hare Krishna.